Hello, so my name is Arash. Um, I'm from Iran and I come from Copenhagen now, so I live in Denmark. Um, uh, Around 9 years ago that I first came to Denmark. Um, so what I first experienced was a big paradox. Um, Coming from somewhere that was many things was uh, contain a lot of obstacles and basic problems, coming to a country that there is literally no problem. That was a big paradox for me, which that was the start to for me to um, think more deeply, like even like naturally to just ask questions, more existential questions. What do I want? What is the meaning of life? And what is the point of me here? So that led me to move back to Iran because I was missing something. This high speed kind of life and process of creating and progressing didn't give me that meaning. So I had to go back and look. I thought that there is something in my country that I have to go back. What I realized then later is that there is something more inside. What happened in Iran is that I started to stop all my artistic activity for a year. So I started a small garden, and there were some birds from my father, some ducks and chickens, and I had a dog and a cat. So I was just gardening and just giving a pause. And that brought a lot of understanding to me. For the first time, having a connection to other beings without any purpose, without any wanting anything, that made me to observe what is going on outside of me. So I started doing my artistic project again, which some of them I will present today, because then I realized that there are, my role as an artist is also talk about this paradox, what we are doing in the world with other beings and the situation that we have created, and this inequality that exists in the world that we don't realize. Uh, Talking about sustainability, I realize that we cannot have sustainability without social justice. What also I realize is that we cannot have sustainability without peace for all other beings. So what I would like to talk to you today is more about what we eat, and mostly, of course, about animals, because that's what I realize mostly, that what is going inside me is much more important in the first place than what I'm trying to just like produce, and and think. I should first think that what am I putting in. And I have to apologize because there was a misunderstanding. So I had prepared for a longer presentation and a little bit of a more slow pace kind of interaction, because I'm from Iran. Iranian take it easy, and and they need some time to talk 5 hours about something maybe. So I will try to put myself in my Danish person kind of uniform and be a little bit more fast. So cross your fingers that I will succeed. Um, do animals feel pain and sufferings? I think the answer, I would guess, that is yes, right? Everybody agrees on that. But is there a difference between pain and suffering? And what is that? Because I also thought that yes, I believe that yeah, animal feel pain, yeah, animal feel suffering. Um, Sorry, because of the short time, I have to skip some of the videos. The thing is that until recently, they thought that only the animals that they have, because of the spine cord and the whole brain system and the neurons, those they will feel the pain and they will experience the pain. And so for a long time, they would not consider the invertebrates as animals that will feel the pain. So they will only consider this physical recognition, which then they would define that, oh, is a survival technique of any beings have this survival technique. If you feel pain, then you will need to avoid it. But what was very interesting is that, well, for animals, there's tons of evidence, so that's why we also have laws about not harming animals, because they realize that they have awareness, they are conscious, and they have emotions, so we should not cause suffering to animals. It's illegal to cause that, and we are doing it right now, here, in every country in the world, in every country. Anyway, but what they realize that also the animals without this spinal cord, they also have that. They have awareness of threat. They can remember and avoid the bad experience. And they can also self-administer pain reliefs, which is crazy. So, insects. I wouldn't think that they would remember a bad experience. I don't know about you, but a recent study in Sydney University showed what they did is that there is like this section that is specifically they are working on pain, how the pain works, and they have been working on insects recently. So what they realized that if they damage one of the legs of a fly, and a fruit fly, and they let it to fully heal, and after that they realized that the other leg of the fly also becomes hypersensitive. So the fly actually try to protect itself from that pain. And the place that the fly had gone, like there was this heat place that the fly moved in. After the fly got healed, it would avoid that place. So it would remember that the last time something bad happened to me, I'm not going to go there again. And this is about insects. And this is some picture about how it works. So yeah, this is of course also the fish that wants to tell that I also do feel pain. So a question would be that if they can remember, if they can feel pain and suffering, could they not have emotions? And what does it actually mean? And isn't it time for us right now to stop unnecessary suffering? If we talk about sustainability, if we gather here to talk about sustainability, can we at the same time cause suffering for other beings? I'm sure we would not do that to any humans. We would not want to do that, and not even for any animals if we have it there. But are we actually doing it without really knowing it? Love for your brother what you love for yourself, from Quran. And look what all the Muslims in the world are doing. So another interesting thing that I found out is about water. So there is Masaru Emoto. I don't know how many of you know him, but it was a Japanese scientist that have been experimented on water for more than 20 years. And what he did is that he was freezing the water and then taking a photo of the water structure. And he realized that the water structure changes when it's exposed to different emotions, thoughts, or even words. So these are some photos from some natural places, which of course they are very beautiful and symmetrical. And this is, for instance, a water, that's the same water that has been exposed to a word like honesty, or been exposed to the word evil, or a very interesting one, I like this one, I can't do it, and versus I can't do it. And of course, that led to a lot of other research and findings. There's a short video I think we can.
In this experiment, Dr. Emoto's researchers used a glass of Tokyo tap water, which seems to be unable to form crystals, and performed a test. Participants placed the glass in the center of their circle and sent gratitude to the water. Studying the water under the microscope, they started to see a crystal formation. Increased magnification showed the symmetry of the crystal, revealing how the tap water was transformed by the gratitude sent by the group. The crystal continued to grow, expressing the energies received. The tap water from Tokyo finally produced a beautiful crystal.
It was interesting to see children so completely astonished after they witnessed the difference in Tokyo tap water, before and after they sent the prayer. Their mothers were kind of skeptical before this experiment. But afterwards, they said, "We really have to believe it."
So why is that important? We also all know that we are mostly consist of water. Actually, cell-wise, we are 95% water. Most of the things, actually, most of the living beings are consists of water. So just think about it. If actually a water that is there is changing this structure with just a positive or a negative word or thought, what does that mean? Causing pain and suffering and eating that pain and suffering. What are we doing to ourselves and what are we doing to the whole world, right? Because water is everywhere, right? That's also the one of the thing in the whole climate debate or the thing about water pollution, that water is connected everywhere. So if water is polluted somewhere, we cannot just say that, oh, that's the problem for that place. We have a clean water here, so that's not going to happen to us. It's moving everywhere and it's affecting. So from these two, I would just go straight to the field that I got into, which is farming. From 2 years ago, I started studying organic farming because I wanted to understand what is really going on in the world with all this data that I've been realizing that what is the farming doing to the climate and to the global warming. Do we have access to internet? Like if these links, could they work if I just click them? Or?
Do we have WLAN on this computer?
No? I can just try to click.
You could have installed, but maybe it probably is not installed, but you can try.
Okay, we will just see if it actually works. No, it doesn't work. Okay, that it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's fine. These are some counters, some creative counters about how many animals is being slaughtered every second and how many forests has been cut down or burned and how many wildfires we have left. It's crazy when you look at it, and this is one of the things that also maybe art can do in terms of maybe talking about sonification or visualization of data. But it was very interesting if you could see it. If it gets fixed, then I can show you. This doesn't work because I'm not in the program.
Oh, that's all. What was your... What was your...
I have the link in back here, just if you click that link. Okay. But if it's the first one, show. It doesn't matter. I can continue because there are other things.
Yeah.
So thank
But
you.
that should
That's
work.
fine. Yeah.
Because we
If
are
yeah. Thanks. So some of the numbers. 150 billions animal per year. That's what we are slaughtering. 150 billions animals. That means 380 millions per day. And 100 millions of them is only for fur, not for leather or other things. In Netherlands, the population of Netherlands is 16 million, 17 million, I think. They are slaughtering 500 millions animal per year. Denmark is, I think, 6 million, maybe 5 point something. Together with the slaughtering and exporting is more than 200 million animals. They're also exporting a big number of that to Germany. And Denmark is one of the biggest countries that is talking about they call it grønne stealing, the green transition. They are not doing anything about their farming. UK, 1.2 billion chicken every year. So I don't know how much you know. You probably know most of this data, but livestock, including the feeding for the animals, that is covering or is taking 80% of the agricultural land. It's almost half of the land that we half of the arable land that we have. 70% of the clean water, the Amazon forest. 70%, some says even 80%, is only to burn, to either graze the animals there or grow food for animals. Half of the whole world grain supply is fed to animals. 75% of the whole soy, which many says that is for vegetarians or for vegans, is actually going to the animals. In Denmark, they're importing more than 1 million tons of soya every year. And the greenhouse gas emissions between 20 to 51%. There is a disagreement because they use two different models, the 20-year model or 100-year model. I don't know, you probably are aware of that, and different techniques, but at least 20% of the whole greenhouse gas emission is only from livestock. So these are some pictures about how much land they take for 1,000 of kilocalories. You can see beef and lamb, that's like huge difference, 120 square meter, then compared to, I don't know, oat or banana is 2.93 square meter. A very interesting way of showing the emissions from diets in terms of, it is represented in car kilometers. So here you can see some of the food, like 1 kilogram of winter wheat. It's in the conventional farming is equivalent to drive 3.4 kilometers, and 1 kilogram of milk is 7.1 kilometer. 1 kilogram of pig is like 25 kilometer. 1 kilogram of beef is 50 kilometer. 1 kilogram of cheese is 71, and beef is 70 kilometer. That's conventional. Very interesting is that organic beef has more emissions. Still, many people, they are buying organic meat and they think that is better because the cows that they graze on grass, they fatten slower, so they are emitting more methane, and they are, and of course, when they eat the grass, then there is less carbon sequestration, so it actually emits more than conventional. So that's the thing about organic farming that I realized, that not only this, but in many other sectors, organic farming is not necessarily better for the environment. Conventional could be actually better in terms of, at least in terms of the emissions. Of course, the pesticides and all those things, that's not good. And the diets, a conventional diet per year is equivalent to driving a car for 4,758 kilometers. And a vegetarian conventional is 2,427, and a vegan conventional diet is equivalent to 629 kilometers. And the organic becomes even much less. And in the transport sector, you know that the most polluted sector in the transport is the cars. is not the aircrafts. And it's actually a big difference. I was very surprised when I saw the data. And many of those cars is also for transporting all these animals and food. Yeah, about the water, you also heard the whole water crisis. I mean, in my country, in Iran, we also have a big problem also with this unsustainable farming, that they are planting cucumbers or watermelons in south of Iran, which is very crazy. But at the same time, in south of Iran, they're a big part of the country that they don't have access to clean water. And cows that we have, they are drinking 30 times more than humans, and we still have 1.5 billion cows in the world. I have to move a little fast. I had a lot of story and things to tell you, but I would like to just tell you a little bit about what I found out. So mostly also about the dairy farming. First of all, there is no dairy farming without meat farming. That's just not realistic. That's not possible. So if you think that being a vegetarian means that no animal would be killed, that's just a lie. And you will see how it is being done. Dairy farming is directly connected to meat farming. It's just in another way. So separation of calves in the dairy farming, it happens. What would you think would be the law for conventional versus organic farming? How soon can they separate the calf? And how soon would they do that? Because that's what they say in organic farming, the calves stay with mother. Well, in Europe, the law is that in conventional farming, they're allowed to separate the calf 12 hours after birth from the mother. In organic farming, it's 24 hours. Yeah. Until just 3 years ago, they could just shoot the male calf right away after the birth because the male calf doesn't have so much meat, so it's a waste to feed it and not get so much meat. So only until 3 years that they're actually allowed to grow them for a few months and then kill them. And yet all the cows are inseminated, which I think you know what it means. A hand goes in the vagina of the cow 2 times per 1.5 years, and that's how the milk can come. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any milk. I would like you to show you this.
Dairy cows need to calve each year to produce enough milk to meet the demands of consumers. Calves separated from their mothers at birth. The industry promotes compliance with all relevant animal welfare codes and standards. Treated in the most humane manner, the highest standards of food production and animal welfare.
I do the very best I can with my calves that I send.
Yeah, I need to finish very soon, so I cannot show you. I had some movies even from my school to show you. Yeah, there are horrible things about pigs and also about chicken and the eggs. One interesting thing to tell you is that the recent research by Copenhagen University found out that 85% of all egg-laying hens in Denmark, they have breast bone fracture. 85%, all of them, including free-range eggs. The free-range egg is not a good thing. I have been in the farms. And I'm not here to force you to do anything. I'm just wanted to let you know that there is a big lie out there. They all have this breast bone fracture because they are bred to lay eggs, 300 eggs a year, and they are too small to do that. So I would like to ask you if these things, I could not show you some other things that is happening in Germany and in Denmark, but if these are not good for your eyes, how can it be good for your body and for the planet? So maybe I have, I don't know, 2 minutes or something. I had some selection from my artwork, what I did. I can maybe just let something goes on while I'm telling a little bit. There's a mistake with the sound. There's two sounds at the same time. So what's happening? Maybe now. So what I did is this project, mostly this project is an audiovisual project. So I had an approach of a way of storytelling all these things. So I wanted to see what, as an artist, what is my way to talk about this thing. Now I'm standing here and I'm giving you some data. But of course, as an artist, when you're doing your art, you cannot talk, and maybe you don't want to give data, but you want to just communicate. So this is like 3 or 4 sections. I had some snippets to show you of how it goes. But the whole idea was that to take the videos from the farm industry and from the animals and mix it. These are the footage from my and my brother's childhood, and make a storytelling of how things in the beginning of the creation they look alike. Maybe the babies when they are born also they look alike, and also the animals and the babies. I think we all agree that they usually how do you call it? They hang around and they can play with each other. They like each other. There's not so much bad thing that happens between them. But then humans go another way. Those animals, of course, mostly they don't have a good future. So this was like a whole communication of more of emotion and inward reflection. One last thing to maybe finish that, I guess. This was the last piece, but if I go to the last slide, yeah, this could just be played while I say thank you. This was a piece that I did at farming school when a teacher asked to make presentations about a special animal production, and our group chose the quails. And he said that you can be creative in creating that. So my part as a sound artist was that I said, okay, I will make a quail meditation for you, and then we make a presentation about, okay, how is the farming with quails and blah, 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 blah. So I asked all the students that, okay, you can close your eyes, you can imagine that this is your size and you're very low and you like to hide between the bushes. And that actually made a big impact. At least one of the students came to me, she said that she was crying and she was just unconscious, kind of like she just went, she thought that she's a quail for a moment. And then she said that was a strong moment, that just realizing what are we doing to the animals. So for me, that was a good feedback, that how we could actually use sound in collaboration with maybe with farmers or for the farming thing. Maybe this is just 1 minute could maybe be, and then I would go and see it.